Hello everyone, welcome to Python tutorial 4. In this video, we will discuss about what is mutable objects in Python, and we discuss in detail about one of the mutable data structure list. Today we discuss about the following topics: creating list, mutable objects in Python, shallow and deep copy of list, indexing and slicing in list, methods and function applicable to lists. Let's get started with list. What is list? In Python, list is a data structure that contains ordered sequence of elements which can be changeable. Elements can be different objects such as integers, strings, tuples and other lists. Each value inside the list is called an element. Like we already discussed in previous videos, strings are characters between quotes. Tuples are values between parentheses, whereas lists are values between square brackets. Let's see how we can create list. We start with creating an empty list. So empty list can be created with open and closing square brackets. So when I print this empty list, I can see the open and closing square brackets. If I want to check the type of the list, I can see that this is an object of class list. Let's create some list with elements. I'm creating a new list with some string, floating point value and integer. If I print this, I can see the list with different data types. I can check the length of the list. The length of the empty list is 0 and the length of this new list is 3 because this new list is having 3 elements. List content. List can contain strings, floats, and integers. We can nest other list tuples and other data structures. Here is a sample list which contains some string, floating point number, integer value, and a list having two integer values and a tuple having one character and one integer value. So I am checking the length of this list. So the length of the list is 5 because this list and the tuple are considered as single elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As list or ordered sequence, here order matters. For example, A is a list which contains 1, 2, 3. B is also a list contains 1, 2, 3. If I compare this A and B, I can get true. But the reference to A and B are different. That we can check using the ID function. But if I create a list with different order and when I compare, I get false. Even though A and C are having same numbers inside the list, the order is not matching. So they are not equal. Let us jump to mutable objects. In the previous tutorial, we already discussed that every variable in Python is an instance of an object. Object whose value cannot be changed once created are called immutable object. We already discussed in the previous two tutorials about this immutable objects. Data types like integer, float, boolean, string, tuple are all immutable objects. And an object whose value can be changed once created are called mutable objects. List, dictionary, and set are all mutable objects. Also in the previous tutorial, we discussed about immutability using strings and tuples. In this tutorial, let us understand mutability using list. We discussed that lists are mutable, which means we can update the element of the list. A is a list contains 5 elements. Here I am trying to change the element at index 1. Element at index 1 is 2. I am trying to update 2 to apple. So if I print, I can understand that the element 2 is updated. Please make note that before updating the element and after updating the element, the IDs remain same. So value changed but ID remains same. That is the same object is being updated, which is called mutability. This we cannot do it in other ordered sequence like tuples and strings as they are immutable. Let us discuss shallow copy and deep copy of list. Here I used assignment operator to copy list A, which contains a string, an integer and a floating point number. I am copying this list A to B using the assignment operator. From this image we can understand that A and B are referring to same object. So initially the value of first element B is set to apple. If we change the first element in A to banana, for example, I am changing the first element to banana, we get an unexpected side effect. What is it? As A and B are referencing the same list, A and B are referencing the same list. If we change list A, then B also changes. This is the unexpected side effect. If we check the first element of B, we get banana instead of apple. So I'm changing the first element of A, but the first element of B also changed. So if we check the ID, we will come to understand that both are referring to the same object. Both the IDs are same. So with mutable objects, we cannot use assignment operator because if we modify one object, it will affect the other. Assignment statements in Python do not copy objects. They create bindings between a target and an object. For collections that are mutable or contain mutable items, a copy is sometimes needed so that we can change the copy without changing the original object. So we are going to a shallow copy. We can achieve this shallow copy using copy.copy function, list.copy function and slicing. Let us discuss copy.copy function. We use the module copy for this function. So I imported the copy module. A is a list having three elements. To create B, I am copying A using the function copy.copy. So I copied B from A. Now I change the first element of A. I'm checking the list A and B. A has changed, but B is not changing because both the variable referring to different object. A is referring to different list and B is referring to different list. So this shallow copy we can achieve using list.copy also. So A is a list, B I am copying from A using the copy function. So if I print B, I can see that A is copied to B. I am changing the first element of A, but B is not affected. So I can use slicing operator, semicolon operator to achieve this copy. So again A is a list contain three elements. B I am copying from A using the slicing operator. I am trying to change the first element of A and checking the elements of A and B. First element of A get changed, but B is not getting changed because both the objects are different. That we can understand using this ID. Variable B reference a new copy or clone of the original list. Now if we change A, B will not change. We understand using this image. This is shallow copy. Then why we need deep copy? A shallow copy means if we modify any of the nested list elements, changes are reflected in both the lists as they point to the same reference. So this shallow copy is not effective in nested objects. So let us check this shallow copy using the nested elements. A is a list contains four elements. Fourth element is a list. So I am copying A to B and trying to change the first element to banana And the third element 0, 1, 2, 3. Third element is my list, and the zeroth index is 1. So 3 of 0, I'm trying to change this one. 3 of 0 is 1. I'm trying to change this 1 to 100. And I'm checking A and B. So whatever I updated in zeroth element got updated in A only, not in B. But whatever I updated in 30, that is in the nested list, got updated in both A and B. This is the problem with shallow copy. So here we should use copy.deep copy from the copy module to avoid this problem. So let us understand deep copy. So here changes in nested lists are not reflected. Same example I am using here. Whatever example I have used above, the same example I am using here. A is a list containing 4 elements and the fourth element is a list. I am copying A, I am deep copying A to B, and I am updating A of 0 and A of 30, and I am checking A and B. So whatever I have updated in the list A, that is updated in the list A only. It is not reflected in B. So this is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy. Next topic is indexing and slicing. Indexing. Like tuples, lists are also ordered sequence. Each element in a list can be accessed using an index. Read-only indexing operations work perfectly for all sequential types. But assignment and deletion operations are not applicable to immutable sequential types like strings and tuples. Now accessing individual elements of list. This mixer list is a list contains different data types. One is at 0 index, 1.4 is at first index, 3 is at second index, and true, the boolean type is at third index, and the string data signs is at fourth index, and the negative index is from right to left, -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. So I am trying to print the fourth element, that is element at index 3. Element at index 3. So print mixer list of 3. This is true. So I can use negative indexing. I am printing mixer list of -2. So I am getting true. To locate an element, I can use the index. For example, subject equal to mixed list dot index of data signs. So this will search from the beginning of the list and return the index. The data signs index is 4. So it returns 4. So we already discussed enough about indexing and slicing in detail with strings in tutorial 2. So I don't go in detail here. Please check the link in the description box to know more about indexing. Slicing. Indexing allows us to access, change, delete only a single element of a list. So to get a sublist of the list, or if you want to update a set of elements at once, we are using slicing. So this is a list contains different data type. L of 3.5. Start index is 3 and slice up to 5 but not 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This MJ and 1 will get printed. So this is another example for slicing. NL is a list starting from 2, slice up to 6 but not 6. Up to 6 but not 6 means up to 5. Starting from 2. So 1, 2, 3 and 5 will get printed. 1, 2, 3 and 5 will get printed. And here I didn't give the end index. So starting from 5, it will print up to the last element 5, 8, 13. And this is an example for negative indexing -6 to -2. -6 to -2. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 5 get printed. Here, this is an example for the end index out of range. There is no 20th index in my list. So it will print up to the end of the list. Starting from fifth index, it will print up to the end of the list. 13 is the end of the list. But if I try to get the particular element at the list which is out of range, I will get an error saying that list index out of range. Please go through the link that I have given in the description box to know more about the slicing. Let us jump into methods and functions. Start with extend. We can use method extend to add new elements to the list. So A is a list which contains 1, 2, 3. B is a list which contains some names of cities. So I extend A with this B. So A got extended. Now this list contains two elements. I'm extending with two more elements. LST got extended with red and 10. Already LST is having apple 10.2 and it got extended with red and 10. So this is an example for extending a tuple. LST is a list contains two elements and TUP is a tuple which is having three strings. So I extend this LST with tuple. All the elements in that tuple has got extended along with this apple and 10.2. Now the members of tuples has become the members of the list. Now extending a list using slicing. I can use slice operator to extend a list. A is a list which contains 4 integers. I'm adding a single element using the slicing operator. A semicolon 0. I'm adding a element 30. If I print A, I can see that 30 has got added at the starting index. And I'm adding two elements in a similar way using the slicing operator. This 40 comma 50 has got added in the initial place. Let us understand how this slice works in index 4. Instead of A semicolon 0, I'm adding A semicolon 4 and adding 3000 and 4000. Let us see what happens. It slices at the fourth index 0, 1, 2, 3. So it slices up to third index and added 3000 and 4000. Now extending a list using plus operator. A is a list, B is another list, C is a list where A and B added. So I can see that A and B has got added and the list has got extended. I can use this plus equal to operator. Then let us see how this string has got extended. A is a list which contains 3 integers and I'm extending this A using a string. Each character in the string has added as a separate element in the list. We can also use append to add element to a list. Fruits is an empty list. I am appending fruits with apple at 0th index and appending orange at first index and appending 10 at the second index. So a list has got created with 3 elements. And appending a list of elements. L is a list which contains 2 elements and I am appending this L with red and 10. And the list has got appended into the list L as a nested list. Appending a tuple. L is a list which contains 2 elements and TUP is a tuple which contains 3 strings. I am appending this tuple with L. I can see that this tuple is appended as a single element inside the list, that is as a nested element. So the new list or tuple appended as one element contains nested list, whereas in extend it is added along with other elements. You can see this tuple has got extended along with the other elements in the list, not as a single element. The 3 elements inside the tuple has got added as a 3 separate elements. But here it is added as a single element. That is the difference between append and extend. Using insert, I can insert an element at a particular index. Fruits is a list which contains apple and orange. I'm inserting mango at the first index. So apple is at zeroth index and mango is at first index. So mango has got inserted between apple and orange. So adding an element at location 1 before the last one. So to add an element 1 before the last one, I'm using this. I find the length of the list fruits minus 1. So length of the fruit is 3. 3 minus 1, 2. So at second index, I am adding banana. Zeroth index is apple, first index is mango, and the second index banana is added. Inserting an element at the end. Fruits dot insert length of fruits. Length of fruits is 1, 2, 3, 4. So at fourth index, I am adding kiwi. Before inserting or adding any element into a list, we need to check whether that element is already existing or not. If we want to check like that, in and not in operator. Mango in fruits will result true because the element mango is in the list fruits, and this not in will result in false. To check whether an element is present in the list or not, we are using in and not in operator. And updating elements, we already discussed that we can change the elements as list or mutable objects. We can update or change the elements of the list. A is a list which contains apple 10 and 1.2. I'm changing the value at 0th index, that is apple, to orange. I can see that the element has got updated. Deleting an element, we can also delete an element of a list using a del command. Then we can use an we can use the index to delete an element. So A is a list and I'm deleting the element at index 0. This apple has got deleted and now the list A becomes 10 and 1.2. I can also use remove to remove an element from the list. So fruit is a list which is having 3 elements. I removed orange, which results in the list with 2 elements. I can also use pop to remove element, but here the advantage is I can get the removed elements using this pop method. So x equal to fruits dot pop length of fruits minus 1. So the last element has got removed and it is assigned to x. So fruit popped is mango. Del statement we have already discussed. So I skip to converting string to list. We can convert a string to a list using split. For example, the method split converts every word separated by a space into a list. Data science dot split. So there is a space between data and science. So this string has got splitted into 2 elements and a list is created. We can use split function to separate strings on a specific character. We pass the character we like to split into an argument. For example, we can pass comma as an argument. See this example. This is a string a comma b comma c comma d and some string dot split and I pass comma as an argument. So each character separated by comma has become elements in this list. There is no comma between D and this string, so it becomes a single element. Then comes sorted function. This sorted function I have applied in list, tuple and string also. Here is an example list, example tuple and string, and I apply this function to list, tuple and string. The list red, green, blue, orange has got sorted in the alphabetical order B, G, O, R. And this tuple has got sorted in the ascending order 1, 10, 17, 20, 40, 50, 60. And the string has also got sorted in the alphabetical order. One thing we need to note that this tuple and string has got converted into list. So we can also use sort method to sort the elements. B is a list and I'm applying this sort method to this list. By default, it will be sorted in the ascending order. So to reverse the order, that is to get it in the descending order, we need to pass the argument reverse equal to true. So this b dot sort will sort this list in the ascending order, and this b dot sort reverse equal to true will sort this list in the descending order. And we can also use reverse function. For this, the list should be in a particular order. So this list is in an ascending order. So and I'm reversing it. So it becomes a list of descending order. Then the functions minimum, maximum, and sum. These three functions can be applicable to list, tuple, and string. So I have applied minimum, maximum, and the sum functions in the above list, tuple, and string. So minimum of this list is blue, minimum of this tuple is 1, minimum of the string is a. That is the, after sorting, it is the first element in the ascending order. Maximum is the last element in the ascending order. Maximum of this list is red, and this tuple is 60, and the string is v, red 60 and v. Then the sum, I can get sum only for the numerical values. So the sum of the list I can get using the sum function. And we are coming into the last topic, immutable elements in list. Like tuple, list can contain another list tuple as well as other data types that we already discussed, right? Now we know lists are changeable. However, immutable elements like tuples and strings in the list cannot be changed. Let us understand with examples. For example, my list is a list which contains nested element. That is, tuple is the nested element and tuple is a immutable object. Now I am trying to change the element at first index, which is 10, and the list has got updated. And I'm changing the data in the first index, and again the list has got updated. And I'm changing the value at second index, list has got updated. But when I try to change the nested tuple using my list of 3 1, I got an type error saying that tuple object does not support item assignment. So this is the end of this tutorial 4. We will discuss more about mutable data structures in next video. So please subscribe my channel and click the bell icon for notification. If you like the content, please hit the like button and share with your friends. Thank you.